Point TV and Quilting with, I was going to say this is Nancy Rolfsma with On Point TV and Quilting with Nancy, and I got stumbled because I'm all fumbled because the technical side of it is not working. I had done a scheduled YouTube, and normally we use this other app to go to it, and it was like log in later, log in later. I'm like, I can't be later, it's right now or never. And then the gimbal isn't working, so Athena is literally holding the phone up in the air, hoping not to shake. Please give her some credit, okay? I also don't know if I'm going to be able to find the, so let me just try and see so that I can actually see your chats. Is that the right one? All right, I think it's actually working. All right, I can see me, you can see me. I think we're all good.
No, it said your AirPod or your speakers went to your iPad, so you need to fix that.
Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm sorry. Bluetooth off. All right, so how's the sound? Somebody out there want to tell me how the sound is?
Mary says I can see and hear you.
Okay, so hopefully we're more on track. Oops, I gotta turn down the volume. I thought I had done that too.
This won't be our finest video.
This will not be, you know what? Can you tell it's been open almost a month and a half since we've done a video? So sorry about that. Hello, people who are here. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been about a month and a half. This whole, the family greenhouse, I work for Athena's mom. Love doing it, but it does take a lot of time away. And this whole, it just takes a lot of time. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to dive right in. We are going to do some painting on fabric, and I know we've done painting on fabric before, but we've just got some different things that I want to show you. And the reason I am painting fabrics right now, all right, everybody says it sounds good. Thank you guys. Is I'm working on some kits. So this is my Painted Star. Now the Painted Star pattern is available on the website, but the Painted Star pattern comes in a 4-inch, 6-inch, and 8-inch center square. So if you're interested in making this, that's where the pattern is. But I'm going to be doing some traveling to vending. So Ann Arbor show and Fort Wayne. I always want to say Fort Worth, but that's Texas. So a Fort Wayne show. And so I'm making kits. And in order to make these kits, I need to be able to have a run of fabrics. So going from, red to purple to blue, and in this one, the yellow, the orange, the red. And I needed to make a kit that was, maybe yellow to green to blue, and I realized I don't have enough yellows, and I don't have enough blues, and not all of the fabrics that I paint will work for this. They really need to be more saturated in color. And so that's what I'm going to show you today, and so check this out. This is 2 days worth of work. Oh, not even a whole 2 days, right? So this is the colors that I've made. Can you see them all? I know it's only a little bit, but you get the idea. I was able to get some really, really dark blues, and we're going to work on some yellows now, along with making some other things along the way. So let's move this out of the way. I'll be right back. Going over here. Okay, I'm right back. So here are the tools. All right, I need to find a case. So Athena, just show them back there, okay? While I reach behind here,
I'll just show them
find a case with a name on it. All right. So this actually is not exactly the mono printing plate that I'm working, but it's a gel press plate. This particular one is, how big is it?
Does it not give the size?
9 by 11. So this one is a little bit bigger than what I'm going to be working on. My plate is 8 by 10. For those of you that maybe haven't seen any of these videos, this is the gel press plate, and this is for making mono prints. Mono prints mean you can make one. I can never duplicate it again. I might be able to get close, but it will never be exactly the same because it's mono printed. So this is a larger size. Pretty much all the tools, the mono print, the stencils, the paints are available. There's not a link below because I don't have that link anymore. I will put a link below. So they're available at joggles.com, www.joggles.com. But I want to put a link below because if you follow the link when you purchase things on Joggles, then I actually get a little commission, which means I can buy more paints and stencils, which has got to be a good thing. So we're going to be working with the gel press plate. I'm going to put that over there. We're going to be working with some different paints. So Dilutions is probably the paint that I use the most, but they did not have a dark blue. So for the dark blue, I went into, this one is called, these are Art Alchemy. So you can find these at Joggles. They've got a nice metallic to them. They're Sparks, Sparks Metallic. This one is the metallics. They're Sparks. Really, really fabulous ones, and I'll show you how I fix them up a little bit to make them even better. And then I also dived into my Jacquard. Jacquard has some called Lumiere, some called Textile, and then this one, which is called Neopaque. So what's funny about this one, Athena bought a dark blue dress. She needed some shoes. Her shoes are a different size than other people, so all she could find is a white pair of shoes, and we painted them with this. The Neopaque, actually, its kind of major thing is to paint shoes, tennis shoes and stuff. Well, it works great on fabric too. So this is where I got my dark blues. Jacquards are not available on Joggles. I can get them for you, so if you're interested, email me and I can get them for you at a good price. All right. So when I'm working with my Dilutions, I actually mix paints together. So technically, these three are the same color. But I wanted 3 shades of yellow. So whenever I empty a bottle, I never throw it away. It's got a shaker bottle in it, or a shaker ball that you can kind of hear. And I love how the paint comes out of these. So I never get rid of the bottle. Yeah, it might be empty, but that just means that I mix some other paints in. So this one, I think I put some white in it, so it was paler. This one, I added some gold in it, so it's a little metallic-y. So when I do that, I try to put like the color on the top of it. I don't always, but that's why all of these have like a little bit on the top. Jacquards do come in a lot of colors, so it's not like there's not, I'm sorry, the Dilutions come in a lot of colors. What I love about the Dilutions is it's got the perfect fluidity for painting on fabric. It doesn't make it real hard. It's not too thick. And because it's only in a 1 ounce bottle, you can buy more colors. Whereas the Art Alchemy ones, these are in almost a 2 ounce bottle, so they're about twice as expensive. The Jacquards are in, might even be a 2.5 ounce. Yeah, I can't find it right now. But obviously, the bigger the bottle, the more it's going to cost, right? So I like the Dilutions because then you can buy more colors all at once. All right. Yeah, sorry about that, Vicki. The technical part of it did not work, so I had to start a whole other one. So any chance you could go to the Facebook and say, hey, get on Nancy's site. You know, I also hear, look up here a second, I hear a lot that, oh, I didn't get the notification for that. I didn't know you were live. You have to, on the YouTube channel, there is a little bell. You need to click on that bell so that you are sure that you get notifications, all right? If you click on that little bell, yep, you're subscribed, but that bell will actually let you know when I do something on the community page or I put something out like that, all right? And then, you know, when technology. Now, this is my 12 by 12 plate. I know I'm jumping around a little bit, so hang with me. I don't know how long Athena's arms are going to hold.
I have one
Yes.
not question. Arms are fine, but could you move some of the bottles forward for you? Yeah, because I can't.
Get over top of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scooch them.
So that they can see, I think, a little
way.
better. Yeah.
And
Perfect.
I'll get this out of the way. We don't need an iron today. There we go. Get these
I'm
things.
doing this for you guys.
All right, everybody. Thanks, Athena.
That's better, yeah.
So this one is my 12 by 12. So these are glass mats. This is a Tim Holtz glass mat. I love putting my plates on top of them. That just really, really work well. And then this is a smaller glass mat. I think this is like a cutter bee, so that I can have my 2 plates and my 12 by 12 out. You don't have to do it this way. You can do it with just 1 plate, but after a while, when you want to do more creative things, then you can. So I'm going to show you the final result of this one, because I'm going to show you the process, but it takes longer, so you won't see it. So when I peel this up, it's going to pick up everything. So when I show you, and I'll say, all right, now I'm going to put this stencil over here and stuff, I won't be able to finish it, so you won't be able to see what it looks like. But this is the remnants of the paint on the stencils, which I'll show you what that means in a second, and then a light color of paint put on the back of it, and so it looks like that. And these honestly have turned into some of my favorite ones. Oh, I've got some other ones over here that I've been working on. So this was a green one, although I peeled it up too soon, and so I got a blank space there. This one was some blues and yellows, and I love this. I love that it means that I'm not wasting paint on the back of my stencils, and holy cannoli, it just looks so cool. So the fabrics that I use are a high quality muslin. I'm using mostly neutral colored muslin. If you are interested, I have this muslin on my website, or you can just email me at quiltingwithnancy@gmail.com, and I sell them for $7 for 3 yards plus shipping. This stuff works great. This is totally and completely washable. I make quilts with these fabrics. I wash quilts. The fabric does not fade, does not peel, does not bleed. It is permanent, all right? And yes, it has a little bit of a difference to the hand, but not an extreme difference. And definitely not as stiff as if you're doing a fusible applique. Let's say that you're using Steam Light or Heat and Bond, or one of those. There's going to be a hand to it. You can feel that that is there. This does not have that much of a stiffness, so it is perfect for doing quilts, all right? So we are going to start right off the bat here. So I'm going to be working first off making some solids. So here's some solids that I've already made. So when I want my fabrics to be saturated in color, which is what I'm working on today, I start with a solid base. Okay, so these are, and yes, it's not just one color, because, you know, sometimes I got 2 colors, and that's okay too. I need to make more yellows. Remember, we discussed that, so I'm going to start with the yellows. Using my dilutions, I do love the shaker ball. I know that probably blurred you right there, but I love the shaker ball. Really mixes everything up really, really nicely. Going to put some on the plate. How much? That much. Really, I don't have a magic. Sometimes I put too much on, sometimes I don't put enough on. Ooh, I'm going to peel some of this paint off my brayer. I usually use 1 brayer. I don't clean it off between, because I'm usually working in similar colors. So I'm just going to spread this over the plate, try to make it as even as possible. And I do like to get all the way to the edges, because I like to use the edge of the fabric. All right, so that's pretty clean. I put my brayer, I actually set it upside down over here to the side. Grab a piece of fabric and put it down. Now, I used to take time and actually press my fabrics ahead of time. Yeah, I quit doing that. They're kind of wrinkled. That's okay. They'll get straightened out in the process of working this. So there is 1 solid. Now I'm going to let it set there as I come over here and make another solid. Now I'm going to use that same yellow, because I need to have a lot of yellows to work with. And we'll work with some other colors, but this will give you the idea of what the solids are going to look like. And this is the lightest of the yellows. This is the Dilutions, I think it's Sunshine or something like that, with a little bit of white in it, so that I had 2 shades of yellow. And then here's another piece. My plate is 8 by 10, so I cut my fabric about 9 by 11, so that I have a little bit extra, so in case I don't put it on perfectly straight, which is totally normal. Okay, now here's 1 solid, nice and bright yellow. Set it right down there. Going for my other solid. Got 2 yellows. All right, step 1, all done. All right, so looking, no concern. So now I'm going to use my stencils. Now the stencils that I am using today are all from Joggles. So that's the Joggles logo. And all of these stencils are by Elizabeth St. Hillier. She has a wonderful YouTube channel called, well, search Elizabeth St. Hillier, but I think it might be Painted Papers or something like that, because she monoprints on paper, mostly on this rice paper, because she is a collage artist. Phenomenal collage artist. But I love the techniques that she uses for monoprinting, and I just transfer them right over to fabric. So this entire collection is part 1 and part 2 of her Gustav Klimt inspired stencils. So all of the fabrics that I'm making are going to be done with these stencils, so they'll all have that commonality to them, so that when I make the quilts like this, it'll kind of be, you know, there'll be something similar. I also am not being picky and choosy. I have them all stacked up like this. Actually, I have another stack over there too. I'm just going to pick up the top one and use it. Flip it over, pick up the next one and use it. Flip it over, pick up the next one and use it. Now, typically, this is how I store my stencils. This, I got it like on Amazon. It's for like scrapbook papers, but most of my stencils are the 9x11, so I can put them all in here. And I keep them, you know, with their papers so I can see what they are. So lots of times what I'll do, because I have these sorted by circles or squares or the Gustav Klimt, I'll actually come in here and just pull up this entire set and just use those similar ones, just because it keeps me contained. Keeping me contained is a full-time job. So this is what I try to do. All right. So I've got these bright yellow ones, and I want to make monochromatic. I'm not looking for high contrast. I'm not going to do blue on top of that. I'm going to do this kind of goldy yellow on top. All right. I did not clean off my stencil, so it's, I'm sorry, my brayer. So it still has a little bit of the bright yellow on it. Now I take the stencil that is on top, because I'm not trying to think too hard, put it down, take one of the solids and press down, picking up the paint between the stencil. Okay. That looks about good. Oh, and I didn't put, normally I put something on my hands. I put the gloves in the bottle on my hands so that the paint doesn't stick, although I've washed my hands like 3 times and they were clean before we started. And then voila, there's one. All right, so subtle. Now this stencil, because I don't want to waste the paint on the back side, I'm going to set over here on top of my 12x12. This I'm going to pick up with the other solid. All right, so this is what we call the ghost print. So with this, it is going to look different. So you'll be able to see the 2 differences. And you just rub it down. You can't really, hi Dagmar. So you can't use your brayer for this because it will move the fabric, but instead you're just pressing with your hands. Yeah, getting paint on your hands. Trust me, it won't kill you. It's non-toxic. I actually had my great-nephew Clarence help me with some, which, funny story there sometime, I'll tell you. Okay. So I want to keep this one down a little bit longer than I kept that one. Okay, and that one's absolutely perfect. It's exactly what I was looking for. Okay. Now when I peel this one up, it is so subtle that you can hardly tell.
You can see it.
So I'll do that again with some other colors. So this one I would consider not done yet. I'll add something else to that. But this one is done. I'm just going to take it over here and put it in my done pile. All right. Going to put this one back on. Now I'm going to look for another color. So I'm going to go to this limey green. Okay, and this happens to be one of the Dilutions Shimmer, which they're a little bit thick, so I'll take some of the textile medium and add it to it. Typically, I do not always add textile medium. I only add it when the paint kind of gets a little bit thick, and the shimmer has that, it just is a little bit thicker than I like to use on this. It's got to be a fluid paint. You can't use any of those heavy body paints. You just won't be as happy with your results. But if you take that heavy body paint and add some fabric medium to it, then it will probably work great. So now I'm going to put my paper there, and I'm going to pick up this stencil. Now the paint from this stencil is now on that plate. So now I can grab another stencil. Here's another stencil. Again, what I'm trying to do here is single prints, where it's just one stencil on top. Now, do I oftentimes do 3 or 4 layers? Yeah, I do. Go back to some of my other monoprinting videos where you'll see I use stamps, I'll use multiple stencils, but I was trying to just make these monochromatic ones quick and dirty. All right. So now, there we go. That's a nice combination one. And I want to show you, so again, I'm going to peel this up. I'm going to want to show you what happens if I don't use a pre-printed one. So this is just a solid piece. I'm going to put that down on to pick up the ghost print all by itself. Okay. All right. So now I'll come over here and use this one. So this guy is done. He's beautiful. Okay. Now I'm going to go to this one, which has a little bit more green in it, but I don't want to go too dark, so I'm going to use this one. So it's going to be a little bit lighter because I want subtle. That is the name of the game for today. Subtle color. Can I do big and bold and bright? Sure I can. I do that all the time. So doing subtle is something I have to work on. Know anybody else like that? No, it's just you, Nancy. All right. So that's all covered. Now I'm just going to take the paper from my stencil, put it on my pile, pick this guy up. Look, it's all there. So here's my next stencil. Again, these stencils are part of Elizabeth St. Hilier's Gustav Klimt inspired. There are 2 sets, set 1 and set 2. How long do I let it dry? I have been known to paint a fabric, iron it, and cut it, and sew with it. You do not have to heat set them, but I do only because I love looking at them again. So I usually press them from the back side. But the truth is if you just let it set for a while, it's going to be heat set anyway. All right. Oh, that's a good one. All right. So that's a good one, nice and subtle. I'm going to pick this one up. Put this one down. Now keep in mind, I'm not telling you everything that I do every time right now because I do have multiple videos. So if you go back to my website, to my YouTube channel, look under the playlists for the mono printing. I think there's 12 or 13
We've done 12
videos. About how much for supplies. June, that really is going to depend on how much you buy. This 8x10 plate runs about $25, $30, something like that. The bottles of paint are somewhere between $2.50 and $3. A stencil is about $7. The brayer is, I don't know, the brayer's $4, $5, $6, something like that. All right. This also is first look at that one before I put it away.
Yep.
This also is a class that I teach. I teach this on the road. So if you happen to be at a guild or a store and you want me to come and teach, I'd love to do that. But then I also teach it at Quilt Festival Quilt Festival. I did not teach this at the AQS. So this is what it looks like if I just pick up the ghost print. So I did the print first. Then I did what is under the stencil is what's called the ghost print. That is just what it's going to look like. Now, do I like this? Of course I like this. How can you not like this, right? But what I don't want for these projects I'm working at, do you see here where it's just the white of the fabric? Not that that's not a pretty print, but for what I'm needing now, I need saturated color. So when you look at this one, there's no white. It's saturated, well, except for right there, but it's saturated in color. So that's why, this looks beautiful, and I might just add another ghost print to that, so I'm going to leave him off to the side a little bit. All right. Now I'm going to going to put my paper down so I can get another stencil. I do love these stencils. Elizabeth does such a wonderful job with her stencil designs. So my next one is this one. So I'm going to go maybe a little bit darker. So I'm going to go more to this kind of a Kelly green combination. You're welcome. Okay. Still have a little bit of that yellow green on my sprayer. That's okay. Just going to mix them together. Now, I like where it's kind of mottled here, but let's say that you really wanted it to be a true solid. You can go like this. And then you can mix those colors together if you're not okay with the kind of mottled look. If there's something that you're doing that you want a more solid look. So many options, right? All right, gonna just grab my other stencil. Next stencil is, oh, nope, it's this one. All right, again, these are the stencils in the Gustav Klimt collection. All right, actually, do I want that one on there? Or do I? Well, I'll just do it. I'm just gonna stick with it.
I have a question.
Yes, Athena, what can I help you with?
How long do the stencils last?
Forever.
So the paint doesn't get like stuck on them or anything like
I
that?
never wash my stencils.
Okay.
Any one of these, so this is the next one, is going to be covered with paint.
Yep.
Both sides, it just
Okay.
is.
It just
what
lasts
it
forever.
is.
Okay.
Yeah. Not gonna, and if you are a stencil washer, then go ahead, wash your stencils. It's not going to hurt it. I just would rather paint than clean up my stencils. Ooh. That one's a good one. Now I'm going to peel up this stencil, put him over there, and I'm going to grab another. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? This was the ghost print that I thought had too much blank space. I'm going to put it on top of this other ghost print and get two ghosty prints hanging together. There. I am sorry about the technical thing. We usually use this service, and I went to log into it, and granted it's been a month and a half since we've done it, and all of a sudden it's like problem logging in, and I'm like, what? Why would there be a problem logging in? We never had a problem before.
I think I'm doing a pretty good job holding it
It
still.
looks really straight. Well, you're able to rest on your elbows.
Yes, that
And I'm
helps.
getting a little bit more paint off of this one. It's amazing how much paint is on the bottom of this that you could just let sit and dry. But when I was doing the video with the Sue Pen stencils, I figured this out, and I've been in love with this technique ever since. So I just keep loading it up there. All right, so let's peel this one off, and we're just going to do one more, okay? All right. Ooh, that's a good solid. Was I shooting for a solid on that one? Oh, it's a really subtle ghost print.
Oh
is
yeah, I
what
see
is.
it. You can see it kind of.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's actually a very subtle ghost print, and I might keep it like that. I'm not going to change it because I'm looking for subtle solids. What I love is that I could always add more to it if I wanted to. All right, so let's go to one of these ones. Oh, let's go and make a really dark blue on top of this. So this is the Dilutions blue. I think that one's London blue, and I want to make it darker. So I am going to use that one. So this is Arc Alchemy Metallic A color, Royal Blue. All right. Now with the Art Alchemy, let me just show you something real quick. If I can find one that I haven't already opened. I don't know if I can. All right. Nope, that one's already been mixed. I thought I had a brand new bottle in here of something. Nope, not that one. I already checked that one. Did I check this one? All right, this is a brand new bottle. Now, that paint is a little bit thick. Like it's not, I'm hoping it's not going to come out. All right?
Oh, it's almost like a paste.
But it does work so well if, there's that. I'm going to take a little bit of fabric medium. Okay, maybe that's a little more.
I was gonna say that's a yeah.
Is that like two?
Is that how you define
two
yourself when you
tablespoons? And then I
pour
mix
yourself
it
a
with my
glass of
palette
wine?
knife. Now I want you to watch this while it happens, because at first it like looks a little bit chunky. Like I don't know. I think that when I watch my sisters make gravy, because they don't let me make gravy, it kind of looks like this when it starts, where it's kind of chunky. And then, like, Sammy gets in there with her whisk, and then Mary supervises, and then Laura's going, oh no, add more salt. Anyway, that's family dynamics. I have 6 sisters, so they all have something to say. I just stay out of the kitchen altogether.
Yeah.
All right. As I keep mixing this, look how smooth and creamy it ends up getting. All right, so just by adding a little fabric medium to it, it also makes the paint last longer. So when I get a bottle of paint that's getting down, I'll just add fabric medium to it, shake it around, mix it around, make that paint even last longer. All right, so now I like this color, so I'm going to come over. This actually is not the color I want to work on this, so I'm going to scrape that one off. Yeah, I'm not big into wiping off my palette knives either. If I do, I might like go like this on my, sort of like that. That works. I learned that from Bob Ross.
Oh, Bob.
Oh, Bob. All right, so I'm going to use this one instead. Okay. Am I a little helter-skeltery today? What do you think? All right, I do have an awful lot of green on this that I don't want to mix too much into the blue because I want to be monochromatic. So I'm just going to take it and run it lightly over top of this one. Add a little color and texture to it. Do you notice that there are no rules to this whole painting on fabric thing? All right. Try not to get it too thick and pretty much you're golden. All right, so I'm going to use that Arc Alchemy that I have added the fabric medium to already. Going to put about that much paint on it. I've got I got a goober on this one. There. Okay. Got an almost clean brayer, clean enough that you're not seeing a bunch of green on here now. Want to spread it around as evenly as possible because this one, the stencil I use, has a lot of space in it. I do love this one. This is lines. I have no idea what all these are called. They're on the package. You know, take off the package and so this one has bubblies on it. So there's going to be a lot of paint onto this fabric. All right. So this is the last one that I'm going to do. Again, give me some time. Do I have time? All right, I have time to do it before we have to go to a meeting tonight. I'm going to put the links down below, so if you're interested in any of the product at Joggles, you can go there, that'd be fine, but if you wait for my link, that means that I get a small commission on everything, which means I get to buy more supplies, which means I get to make more fabric, which means I get to make more videos. You know, it's kind of this wonderful cycle of quilting life. Okay. All right, love that. That's what I would consider one of my dark blues. I'm going to take this up, just going to set it over there, and I got some other blues under here. Okay. All right. I'm going to take this light blue, and I'm going to put it on down for the ghost print on this one. Okay. So now I'm going to show you the concept of what I do here. So this one has all these little bits from the stencils, right? It needs to completely dry. So sometimes I'll try to take the time to let it completely dry. Gets a little crazy. Go like this. Maybe make it dry. Okay, while we're letting that one dry, let's peel this one up. This was the ghost print on the ghost print. The longer you leave it on the plate, the more will come up. All right, now I really like this one. Check that out. So, did not have a solid base on this one. I had that light colored green ghost print and then another dark colored green ghost print on top of that. So I've got a variety of things going on in there, but mostly you see the dark colored ghost print, but then the remainder of it kind of filled in those white places. This one I'm going to leave on for a little bit longer, but this guy I'm going to pick up. All right, so to pick him up, I'm going to get a clean-ish brayer. I've got lots of limey greens going on here. So oftentimes I'll do a yellow, but I don't know if the yellow will let it all show. So instead I'm going to use a white. Shake it up. Okay, that one does look real. I'm looking at that one on the replay. It looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to take and put a little bit of white on. Now this is a bigger plate, so obviously I need more paint. Oops, did I just get that in your way? I'm going to take as much of the blue off as I can. And then I'm going to very gently, whoops, I didn't get as much blue off as I thought, roll this white on top of the plate, trying not to disturb that paint that was below it. All those paints that came off the back of the stencil. And then I am just remembering that the fabric that I need to put on top of this is on the other side of the room. So let me run over there. Don't follow me because then you'd really see the mess. Okay, got a piece of fabric coming back with it. Dee. So I want to make sure that it's covered as possible. I don't want to disturb the paint underneath it. I'm going to put this down, and I'm using actually a white muslin on this because I use the white, and so I want it to be as clear and crisp as possible. Now the hardest part about this one is that you have to wait about maybe a half hour, at least a half hour. People ask me how I clean my plates exactly like this. I put one final layer of paint down and then wait overnight or a week. And then when I'm ready to paint again, I just peel it up. So that is down now, and I'm going to leave it alone. When you peel it up nice and slow, and then you're going to get, so like this one was when I was working with the blues. All those different stencils were laid down on the plate, and then I picked it all up with a white paint all at once. All right, so this one, let me see if she's ready. Yeah, this one's good. So this was the ghost print on top. Oh, that one actually turned out very cool. The ghost print on top of that light blue solid. So there you have it. I don't know, how long did we go?
35 minutes.
35
36.
minutes. Okay, so Athena's arms are still hanging with us. Going to try and figure out why my gimbal won't work and why that link to that other thing won't work. Sure, you make it look simple. It is simple, but is there a little bit of a learning curve? There is. How much paint? How quickly do you move? Because if you brayer too long, the paint dries down and then it won't come up on your fabric. So that is one reason to consider taking this as a class. So I'm doing this in Long Beach, California, I think August 4th for the Quilt Festival in Long Beach, California. And when you take it as a class, I come in with a kit. So you get a kit with the brayer and the plate and the paints, and then you get to use all my products too. So if you maybe have a guild or a store that you would like to try it, we could do it that way too. So can you do it by yourself? You can. It's not really that hard, and you can't really mess up either. I guess that's the other bonus to it. It's going to be fabric one way or the other. You're going to be able to use it. It's just going to matter, how many layers do you put on it until it's exactly what you want. Okay, and so that's what it does. And sometimes I'll use some paint markers to add to it. Sometimes I'll use stamps to it. There's these really fabulous foam stamps at Joggles also. I use those. So a lot of different things, but I was trying to show you the simplified kind of down and dirty kind of thing. Okay. Hi, Karen. Nice to see ya.
One last question.
Yep.
June asked, do you roll on the soft side of the fabric?
Are you rolling on the soft? Am I rolling on the soft surface? June?
So I don't know.
I'm not sure what that means.
Is
Honey,
is the muslin, does it have a soft and a rough side?
No, the muslin
Okay.
is either side. I don't pay any attention to that.
Okay.
I'm rolling on here. So, June, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Maybe send me an email, quiltingwithnancy@gmail.com, and I'll be able to answer that question a little bit more in depth. We could kind of go back and forth, back and forth. I have a membership to my channel, so if you like what you see, check out the join button. That will be soon. It's not there right now because I need to go and doctor up this video a little bit. And then find out a little bit more about that. It's kind of just another way to keep me in my studio so I don't have to go back to an office. Don't want to go back to an office. All right.
Okay.
I think that's it. I'd really appreciate you joining us. Thank Athena for, having to keep her arms up in the air to make this one happen and not be jiggly. And have a great day. Talk to you later.